come home in the morning light. My mother says, when you gonna live your life right? Oh mother dear, we're not the fortunate ones. And girls, they wanna have fun. Oh, girls just wanna have fun.
Everybody, welcome on to our wonderful set here at FilmSnobReviews.com. Frally Hines, singer-songwriter extraordinaire. Say hello, Frally.
Hi. Hello.
And today we're going to talk about this simple composition that you come up with of a Cyndi Lauper classic. Could you talk to us a little bit about why you chose to do this song and why they maybe selected it for this documentary about Paris Hilton?
Sure. Well, I actually did it specifically for the film. The director had given me the brief of imagine Paris crying in a hotel room in Korea, and I want something kind of, a song there that would capture something of that mood. And so I don't know why that's the first thing that sort of popped into my head was to do kind of a subversive version of Girls Just Want to Have Fun, just as a starting point, like maybe something like this, and then it was exactly it was exactly the sentiment and vibe that she was looking for. So it was just that's kind of how it happened.
I think that it does set a really somber tone because the original song is so kind of carefree, and I love it. Just a few note changes, and then a change of mood can make a song sound a lot more, sinister.
Yeah.
I don't know, cynical, I guess would be the word.
Well, yeah. It's amazing what happens with especially with a song that's so familiar to most people, sort of an iconic song, and it's something that you're in the sort of more upbeat version. You're more focused on Girls Just Want to Have Fun, and I feel like in the more slow, somber version, you're focused on the sort of parental, what are you going to do with your life? When are you going to live your life right? And these kind of things that can get missed a little in the happier version. So I think that I think given the film and given sort of that Paris is, was exactly that rebellious teenager who was, whose parents were trying to contain her and keep her from going out and having too much fun. Like, I think that's that part of it's the reason I went there. And then of course that fun took a turn, for her, and it didn't go so well. I'm assuming you've seen the film.
I saw the entire thing, yeah.
There's a
mood
somber. And I think it's, yes, somber is kind of my thing. I don't know why. I'm good at somber.
I'm going to get to that in a minute because I was just going to say I listened to the rest of your music at the same time, and I love sad music, and yeah, that hit. That stuff hit me. It hit me right.
I also did this cover of a song. I'm not sure if you know it. But I haven't released it yet, but I'm about to. Ruby, Don't Take Your Love to Town. Do you know that song?
No.
Well, it's I think Kenny Rogers is the one that had a big hit with it, although I don't know that he wrote it. And it's this kind of fast country song, and I didn't realize till I always kind of liked that song. The Killers also did a version of it, and I've always liked that song. And I thought I'm gonna kind of do a version of this. And then it wasn't until I was actually in the vocal booth singing the lyrics that I realized what the song was about. And it's like, wow, this guy has come back from the war in Vietnam and has lost his legs, and his wife is going out cheating on him, and he can't do anything about it, and he wants to kill her. I was just like, wow,
he's telling her, don't take your luck to town, I guess.
But like, how do you miss that? You know, how do you miss that? So I think it's, you know,
I think there's a malaise.
You can miss that in the, in the mood of the music and the, you know, the way it's, just the choice that you make it into a faster, more happy sounding song. You can miss those
I think a lot of songs are like
I certainly
that, though.
did. Right.
I think a lot of really great songs are like that, where there's a mood about them, but when you listen to the actual lyrics, it's just a sad song.
Like the song is like the song itself. You know, then maybe the record label is like, well, we want this to be a hit, so it can't be that sad. Let's fasten it up a bit.
Well, and look at a song like "Semi-Charmed Life" by Third Eye Blind. That song is literally about being on drugs, but it sounds so happy.
Really?
There's a lot of examples of that, and I think what's so cool about about music is that music is really based on the listener, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, somebody can write something and...
Wow, I haven't heard that. I need to hear that.
Now, since we've already knocked out talking about this great cover, let's talk about yourself a little bit. Let's talk about your history as a musician, because you have 2 full-length albums from what I can see, and I listened to both of them. And they're both very, very, they're quite excellent. And they have a very specific tonality that I definitely, you know, champion. So let's tell us a little bit about you as a musician and as a person.
Oof. I mean, it's been a weird journey. I feel like I started making, this was my first album. I was living in Nashville at the time. And, you know, I never really thought so much about writing songs. Like, I always played music. But I was going through, like, just a really difficult time, and I found that, like, it was all I could do to kind of help me. It was kind of my lifeline. Mm-hmm. These songs that were coming out, and it was like, I was like, wow, this is like my higher self kind of speaking to me and helping me out or something. That's how it felt. Like I needed to write these songs, and and so that's really, you know, where it started. Prior to that, I kind of went to film school, and I would make like sort of cinematic ambient pieces to go along with short films that I was making, but they weren't really songs per se. They were more, you know, which is funny because now I've kind of gotten back into the composing world a little bit too. But I think Nashville in general, there's just songs floating around in the ether there. You know, it's just kind of like, for whatever reason,
music
there's
is
like a
air.
geography, and there's just there's like, you know, and I felt like, you know, you play your guitar, you reel in a song somehow, like, you know. So that's where I started, like the Nashville energy. And then, you know, I didn't record them there. I was recorded them in Williamsburg, and I kind of had this community of friends and musicians in Williamsburg, and it was just I don't know, it was just kind of a magical but also hard time in a lot of ways. In fact, I recently just got a text from some girlfriends in Nashville. Like, this was 3 days ago, like, and they all on a text chain. I hadn't really heard from a lot of them in a while, and they were like, "Do you remember the Frally days, or is it just me, or do you remember the Frally days in Nashville?" And I was like, "Oh wow!" And it was lovely, but it made me think, oh, like one day I'm going to be looking back on this moment and being like, "Wow, remember that time when you know what I mean, when I lived in LA and this and that." And it's like, it was just a reminder to be, you know, more appreciative and grateful and in the time that you're in, because one day it's going to become a time of nostalgia. Anyway, I digress.
I like that. I like that. A time of nostalgia.
Yeah, so because it's obviously been a weird year.
Yeah.
And I'm an optimist, so I think things are going to get better for a lot of people, but you never know. Like, we might look back and go, wow, remember, like, for 2020, like, when things weren't as bad. But yeah, then I moved out to LA, and I, the music industry was something I never really got into, and I didn't really ever like touring.
Mhm.
I'm more of a homebody, and I'm more of a, like, it's just not my thing. So that kind of was hard in terms of career. Like, well, you have to go tour, and you have to go, like, and I was like, I don't want to do that. So, yeah, I kind of almost, just gave up on all that, and I'd have placements in things, like I think on that first album, they placed something in Friday Night Lights, and they had, like, there was certain films and things that I'd get placements in, but it was like I was really feeling like I don't really know how to have a career in music unless I want to tour, which I didn't. So I think film is naturally my home, and I now love the idea of just give me a brief, tell me what you need, and I'm really good at executing that. Like, I like having a directive.
I like to hear that, and I'm glad you did that, because that's actually a perfect segue into what I want to ask now. We are by nature a film site. We talk about and we love. What are some of your favorite movies? Let's say you were stranded on a desert island with just a television and two.
Which film?
What two films would take?
Wow.
It's a tough question.
That is a really hard question. Like, I feel like I was just actually saying how, like, when I look back at some of the older films that I loved, like, in this time, they're honestly, like, in some ways unwatchable because they're so sexist or
problematic.
So,
yeah.
When the times have changed so much, and you're just like, oh, wow, that film is actually kind of unwatchable right now to me because of this time we're in. Things have changed, and it's weird, So
yeah.
So having said that, what would it be? It might be like an Out of Africa. I really kind of loved that film, and it seemed like so beautifully shot, and that was one of my childhood favorites.
Great choice.
And the other thing might be I really recently just loved the octopus film, which everyone's probably seen. Have you seen that? The documentary about the octopus?
Oh yeah, my friend that put the Netflix documentary.
Yeah, and I've been watching also the Thich Nhat Hanh documentary. I watch a lot before, but so I've been I like to watch films that put me in this, that aren't necessarily like entertainment, but that can change my mood, or put me in the mood to go to sleep if it's at night, or so I like watching that Thich Nhat Hanh documentary. Is really beautiful. I can't remember the name of it though.
That's good. We know what you meant. I like that you said that, because I think that we, especially here on our side, we believe that film is more than just entertainment. We believe that film can change attitudes. It can morph personalities, and it can really tell us about someone, who they are.
Yeah, and I think that I'm pretty allergic to the sort of last 10 years or so of Hollywood films. Like, I just can't. I just like the films that are there to make an audience passive. It's just not. It's like I really feel like films. You should be talking about that film on the street afterwards. and challenged and like maybe uncomfortable and maybe, and so I do feel like when a film is done purely for entertainment, so it's just not interesting to me.
You're going to fit right in here.
Oh, yeah, that rules out all the action movies.
Yeah, you're going to fit right in here. Trust me. I love it.
But I did love another film that I really loved is Ghost Story.
Yes.
Did you see that?
Excellent. I have seen that a few times. Excellent answer. Let me get your opinion.
Well, I also loved Magdalene. What's that?
I wanted to get your opinion on the controversial pie scene in Ghost Story. It's very, very divisive.
It drove me nuts. It drove
me
nuts when I saw it. I just was like, but then, afterwards I was like, I get it.
That was a director telling you. That was a director telling you, I don't care. I'm going to shoot this because later you'll get it.
Director just being an asshole, but
yeah,
it was really, it was really grating and annoying, and it was just like it almost lost me.
But it was poignant at the end when you got what was going on.
Yes.
I
know. I really loved that film a lot.
Great film. That's a great answer, Frally. Thank you for that. I don't usually get an answer where I'm like, yeah, no, that's amazing. Yeah, that's a great answer.
But I also like was so annoyed at the beginning of the film with the score too.
Yes.
But then it settled. Like the score was like, what are you trying to make people stop? But yeah, I like the challenge of a film that. It's like, it's okay if it recovers itself. It's not okay if it's just gratuitous like that the whole way through.
Yes. A little bit over the top.
Kind of messing with us the whole way through just to annoy. But the film, was great.
There is a movie coming out that's like that, and I think you would enjoy it. There's one coming out that we saw at a festival this year that I think does a similar thing that you'd probably really enjoy.
Cool. And I also love that director, and I can never remember his name, but the guy that made Mud. And
oh, yeah.
Gosh, what is his name? And he uses that same actor and everything.
Yeah, you're talking about Jeff Nichols.
Yes. I really think he's a special filmmaker, too.
He is. That's the correct answer, yeah. Take Shelter. All his movies are great. Every movie he's made is pretty great. So. That's going to be one of my next questions. Who are some of the people that you like, directors and actors? And Jeff Nichols is a great start.
Yeah, I think he's really, really, really incredible director. I look for things that have a little bit of poetry in there.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's cinematic poetry, whether it's in the editing, whether there's something that's like, there's this, it's not just scene by scene and you can like see the script
mm-hmm.
off to the side, it's so I really, that I think
I love that.
My favorite.
You picked a very young guy too. He's not very old.
I know. I wonder what he's up to now.
I think he's got a couple things down the pipeline. I know he's working on a couple of different projects. I don't have any sort of info on that, but I know he's working on an alien flick.
Alien?
It's like an alien screenplay that he's working on. Yeah, it's basically an allegory for segregation.
Oh wow, amazing!
Using space aliens, yeah. As far as I know about it, I don't have much more information on it than that. But I know it could be good.
Oh, and a movie that I watched just recently that I loved, and it was a Rebecca Miller film. The Secret Life of Pippa Lee.
Yes.
Have you seen that?
Yes.
I also loved that.
Yes, but Ms. Miller is actually quite the director, so.
Yeah, I haven't really seen all her films, but that one I was like, wow.
I particularly like. I thought Maggie's Planning. She wrote that one. I thought it was decent. A lot of people didn't like it so much. I enjoyed it. You know,
Right.
it's a little manipulative insofar as, you know, making you want to cry.
Yeah.
But, you know, to me, I like that type of thing.
I
Make
feel
me
like
cry,
I
please.
make people cry too.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, so you're doing well. Because I cry easily. That's than me. That's how I do it.
Cool.
But no, you've been amazing thus far, and I appreciate having you here. Is there anything you would say to the people listening to this about maybe wanting to listen to your music or catch up with your project or anything you want to plug while you're here?
I think like just stay tuned because like I'm about to like get it together. Like I'm about to release, you know, like I honestly have a lot of unreleased material because I was like, well, if a tree falls in a forest, you know, what's the point? But I think this film has kind of given a vehicle, which I think you need in, you know, to release anything. And so now I feel inspired to kind of actually release all the unreleased things I've been working on over the last couple of years. So that's, I think it's like, stay tuned. That's my message. Follow me at Frally Music.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to do this Instagram thing, and I'm gonna be starting to ramp it up and release some more things.
Wow. All right. So you heard it. Frally Music, Instagram. Make sure you follow her. Keep track of all her sweet tunes that she's going to be coming out with soon. I look forward to that. That's going to be fun, I think. Well, fun in the most, like, sad way.
There'll be some surprises in there.
Oh, I like to hear that. I do like to hear that, actually. That makes me super excited.
And I
whatever
don't know
you
if anyone realized this because I actually didn't put him on the credit because I was umming and ahhing, but Rufus Wainwright is on the outro of Girls Just Want to Have Fun, doing those moves.
I do love a little Rufus. That's a good pull. So I just wanted to take this last couple moments here to thank you, Frally, for giving us your time and letting us talk to you about this great song that you've put out. And everybody, if you haven't listened to it, when the interview goes up, we are going to put a link to this wonderful song on Apple Music and Spotify so that you guys can all listen to it and enjoy it. And check out This Is Paris, I believe is what is the title of the documentary.
This Is Paris.
On YouTube. Yeah. Check it out because you get to hear her wonderful voice. You get to see this amazing story about Paris Hilton that maybe we all didn't know. Frally, thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I appreciate you.